motherfucker! I'm back!
Some people are born strong. Some people are born confident. David Goggins was born broken. Not physically, but mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. This is not a story about talent. This is not a story about luck. This is the story of a man who decided that suffering would no longer control him.
So a lot of people ask me what it's like to
You are a guide for a lot of people. You sort of embody the idea of hardening your mind and figuring out a way to do things that most people think are impossible. How'd you become that guy?
I grew up not that guy. I was that guy who ran away from absolutely everything that got in front of me. We lived on Paradise Road, and it was anything but fucking paradise. My dad owned skating rinks, he owned bars, he ran prostitutes from Canada to Buffalo, New York. My dad was a big time pimp. So we had two different sides. It was the side that everybody saw, which was the side of, this man, your dad is so damn cool, man. He's awesome. But no one knew what was going on in that house on 201 Paradise Road. The second that door was shut in that house, it was game on. The real him would come out. My dad beat the shit out of me when I was growing up. Beat the shit out, out of my mom. He was a very insecure guy, and he was an alcoholic. So whenever he would get upset, he would put it out on my mom and myself. The worst thing to do is when you see your mom getting beat senseless at a young kid. That shit scars you permanently. I'll never forget this. I'm about 7, 8 years old, and I hear some ruckus outside my room, and my dad is smacking the hell out of my mom and knocks her almost unconscious. My dad got her hair, drug her down the stairs by her hair. In my mind, I was always afraid. My whole life I was afraid, but I had this voice, this conscience that would always be battling me, saying, hey, you gotta go and do something. So I go on the stairs and I jump on his back, and he beat the living hell out of me. And he beat me literally from my neck down to my ankles. So the next morning we wake up, it's time to go to school. My mom woke up and she pulled the covers back, and what she saw was how bruised I was. The look on your mom's face when you see your shit that fucked up, it haunts you. She used to write letters for me to miss PE, because you gotta wear shorts and a t-shirt. So this particular day, she didn't write a letter.
David and his mother finally managed to escape his father with hopes of starting a better life. Unfortunately, their struggles were far from over.
When I was about 8 years old, we moved to a small town in Brazil, Indiana, and that's when the real war started for me. There was about maybe 10 black families at about 10,000 people in the town. In 1995, the KKK marched in the 4th of July parade in Brazil, Indiana. They had to stay 100 yards back, but they marched in it. Wow. That's how this town was. So me being one of the few black kids in that, in that area, it kind of haunts you. I had a learning disability. I was stuttering. I was battling so much shit that I never even told my mom about. My mom was working 3 jobs. We lived in a $7 a month place. I didn't want to put my troubles on my mom because she was battling her own demons. So at 8 years old, I'm looking for comfort, and I'm like, hey, don't bother your mom with shit. Whatever you're going through, man, you're on your fucking own. I had stuff on my notebook, we're gonna kill you. One time this person drew a picture of me and said, we're gonna kill you on my Spanish notebook. And I took it to my principal. And the best advice he can give me, God help his soul, was this. They're ignorant. They spell Niger. From the age of 19 to the age of 22, I gained 125 pounds in that time frame. I went from 175 to almost 300, to 297 was my heaviest. And I started finding things that was comfortable. And I always knew in the back of my mind I could be something special, but I'm like, I ain't trying to do that kind of work, man. I'm just not trying to do that. So I chose the path of least resistance. And the more things I found comfortable, the more uncomfortable my mind was. I started working for a job called Ecolab, where you spray for cockroaches, and spraying at different steak and shakes, Red Lobster, whatever, from 11 o'clock at night to 7 o'clock in the morning. I didn't even want to look at myself, but I was haunted. These demons were in my head every day, man. You ain't shit, man. God, dog, man. You wear this fucking uniform, you get in your fucking Ecolab truck, you go spray for cockroaches. I was at an all-time low. I wasn't going anywhere, and I was exactly what everybody said I was gonna be, which was nothing. And what changed, I came home and watched this Discovery Channel show, Class 224.
Class 224.
You get treated like the absolute lowest form on earth, and you really gotta find it within yourself to say, I know I can do it. I know I can finish it. I know I can do anything they throw at me.
I'm hearing Navy SEAL. Heard about him, knew about him. So I come out and watch this documentary. I was watching these guys going through Hell Week and carrying these boats and logs. I'm like, fuck that, man. That shit looks evil. And these guys ringing the bell, quitting, dropping their helmet down, rolling out. A lot of guys just leaving. But guys, as they quit, I saw their soul leaving their bodies almost on screen because this look came over them. And it made me reflect on my fears, my insecurities. And I saw real men who were staying, who were overcoming adversity, who were overcoming all these different things that I had blamed so many fucking people in my life. So long story short, what I realized was no one was here to help me. I had two options. To either be that 300-pound guy who sprayed for cockroaches and made $1,000 a month, knowing when I'm 50 years old I can reflect on this and think about what guy I never became, or I can totally just fail and fail and fail until I succeed. And now I'm like, okay, here we go. It's time to be a Navy SEAL. And I called this guy named Steven Saljo, recruiter, up, and he said, hey, come on in. He weighed me, 297. He went through his little chart, started writing all this shit down, and he said, you got a lofty task ahead of you. To get into the class I had to get into, I had to lose 106 pounds in less than 3 months. So I was like, fuck that, I can't do that. I grabbed my chocolate milkshake and went back to Ecolab. I'm going back to work, man. This is my life. And this next morning, or this next night, I went to work and I hit the mother load of cockroaches, rodents and everything. I go out to the dumpster and these animals, I was like, fuck, I'm done. I said, this ain't gonna be it for me. So I quit my job, left my canister in that restaurant, my spray canister, got back in my Ecolab truck.
With no job, David decided to go all in on becoming a Navy SEAL. In other words, he now had just 3 months to drop 160 pounds. When
I decided to lose the weight, I was, like I said, 297. My idea was to run 4 miles for my first run. I get my shoes on and I run a quarter mile. I was exhausted. I walked home and sat on my couch and cried. I went to my mom's house, who was about 20 minutes down the road, and cried and get in her couch saying, man, I can't fucking do this shit. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I gave up. I said, this ain't gonna fucking happen, man. I gotta lose 106 pounds and I can't even go a quarter fucking mile. And my mind just kept fucking with me. And kept fucking, you're not good enough, man. This isn't for you, man. These guys are the baddest motherfuckers on the planet Earth. You're not that. And what it was, and it's kind of funny, I was obsessed with Rocky. One movie I watched all the time was Rocky. And I related to Rocky a lot because of kind of, one of the smart guy, just tried real hard. And I would fast forward with the little VHS tapes to round 14. Round 14 fucked me up like nobody's business. In that round, when Rocky gets knocked down, and Mickey's saying, stay down, and he's getting up, Apollo Creed thinks that he knocked him out. Apollo Creed raised his arms up in the air, turned around, thought he won the fight. He turns around and sees this guy getting up, and it was the face of Apollo Creed that changed my life. I wanted every motherfucker that doubted me to look like Apollo Creed did in that 14th round, because I got back up repeatedly. I wanted to be the guy that people looked at but said, this motherfucker is gonna keep coming after whatever is in front of him. I wanted that. I wanted that worse than anything in the world. I wanted to feel something besides defeat. I wanted to just go the distance. I started realizing I can't run that far.
Right.
So what I did was I became damn near a professional cyclist with the miles I put on the bike. I rode a bike a lot to lose the first initial kind of weight, because my bones were just hurting so bad. My body was just broken. And I tried to swim a lot. I wasn't a great swimmer, but putting fins on kind of equalized my body. I wasn't so negative buoyant. So I started finning a whole bunch. And I spent hours in the pool. I was so scared of the water that I had to live in the water. And then the bike got easier. I was able to run more. I went from like 1 mile. 1 mile was a great accomplishment. 2 miles, and then from 2 to 3 was a big one. Then I went from 3 to 6. I'm down to 215. I have about another month to go. I dropped the weight and I went back to recruiter. I got into that class. I'm in SEAL training now. Amazing. The war now can begin. Wow.
The Navy's training for SEALs, called BUDS, is known as one of the most arduous trials in the military.
So Hell Week is 130 hours of continuous training. You might get 2 hours of sleep. And what it does is it's designed to break a man. You're in the Pacific Ocean, which is never warm. You're all linked arms. You're sitting there and the waves are crashing over you. My legs weren't in the best shape because I had started having stress fractures before I even got to buds. Because when you go from 297 to 191 in that time period, you're starting to break yourself. So I broke myself before I even got into Navy SEAL training. Trying to lose the weight damn near killed me. And now I'm starting this training, already broken. In my first Hell Week, I got to a couple days in the Hell Week and bam, stress fractures, double pneumonia. I got rolled back day 1, week 1. Second time going through buds, was getting ready to start up in second phase. Broke my knee, got rolled back to day 1, week 1. And then I went through my third time. Third Hell Week, we had a guy die on Thursday.
How did he die?
Pulmonary edema. His name was John Scott. It cold as fuck Hell Week. The Pacific Ocean is never warm. And it rained the whole time. The whole time it just rained. And he pretty much just drowned in his own fluid, pretty much. We were in the pool doing some evolution. He sunk to the bottom and he ended up dying in Hell Week. They gave me my third time, was my last time going through Hell Week. I had numerous stress fractures on both of my legs because my body was literally like coming in on itself. I was pronated really bad. How I got through buds was I basically put a black sock on at 4 o'clock in the morning and I would get duct tape. So what I did was I casted the duct tape over the sock. I duct taped as tight as I could. And right here at the pivot point, it created a huge pressure ulcer because your ankle still wants to move.
So you just use that tape to just support your ankles.
Right, so I basically cast myself. And for the first 30, 45 minutes, the pain was excruciating. But then my legs would go numb. And when they go numb, you don't feel this shit anymore. And I would go numb, and then that's how I got through.
Wow.
And people say, why did you do that? It's either that or not become a Navy SEAL.
As we reported, it does appear that the chopper was shot down. 17 American troops were on board.
It now appears that 17 American soldiers were lost when their helicopter was shot down by enemy fire.
I knew every guy that died on the operation. Marcus Luttrell, I was in buds when he was there. Danny Dietz was in one of my buds classes. Michael Murphy was in one of my buds classes. I went to training with most of these guys. So I had the bright idea to raise money. I wasn't gonna do a hot dog or hamburger sell. I was gonna do something that people would be attracted to. All these guys died, they all had kids. I want to raise money for the Special Operations Warrior Foundation. It's a foundation where 100% tuition goes to these kids to go to college, full tuition, whatever. So I found this great foundation. I'm gonna raise money for it. And I Googled the 10 hardest races in the world. I knew nothing about ultra running. The first I'd ever run was 20 miles at one time. And so what came up was the Badwater 135. 135-mile run through Death Valley in the summertime. It didn't describe that it was like a couple-day race. I'm thinking, okay, that has to be like a 7-day race. Because I don't know people who run like that. So when I called the race director up, Chris Kosman, I'm like, hey, I would like to do this race to raise money for a foundation. He goes, have you ever run 100 miles? And I was like, in a week, or like what are you talking about? He goes, no, like in 24 hours, because that's what you gotta do to qualify. He goes, well, to get my race, you have to do a 100-mile race. And you gotta do 100 miles in 24 hours or less. And I was like, is that even possible? Like, I know. There happened to be a race that Saturday, so 4 days later. And he said, if you qualify by running 100 miles or less in 24 hours, I will consider you my race. I probably ran no more than 50 miles the whole year. My cardio was 20 minutes every Sunday on the elliptical trainer.
Okay.
That was it.
That's it.
That wasn't my thing. I wanted to be like jacked. I didn't want to be cardio guy. I wanted to be ripped, big Navy SEAL guy. So anyway, I'll go sign up for this race. I start running and I get to about mile 40, mile 50, and I'm feeling pretty good. I get to mile 70 and it was the worst pain of my life. I sit down and everything falls the fuck apart. I was all dizzy and lightheaded, hadn't gone to the bathroom. I literally start to turn white. And when a black guy turns white, you're pretty fucked up. I'm like peeing blood down my leg. I was dizzy, lightheaded, have some crap coming out of me. I was all over the place. And I got 30 fucking miles to go. And I'm in the worst shape of my entire life. So I sat in this chair and I was so driven to succeed in this race. And at this time, everybody goes, were you thinking about the guys that died? And I'm not gonna lie to you, I wasn't. This became a personal thing. This became me against this race, me against the kids that called me against me. It just became something that I took so violently personal. Going through buds, I started realizing that you have to learn to control your mind in these situations. So at mile 70, when I was in the worst shape of my entire life, I was able to draw on being calm. calm the emotion down. I didn't panic on I had 30 more miles to go to get 100. I started about the process. And I broke this thing down into small pieces. I said, okay, I gotta get nutrition. Let's get some hydration, let's get some salt. I gotta be able to stand up before I can get off this curb and get off this chair and be able to go 30 miles. Slowly but surely I was able to stand up, and I was literally hobbling around this track, just walking, no running at all. I couldn't run, my feet were in the worst pain. It's the worst pain I've been in my entire life. And I get to mile 81, and I wasn't gonna make the time. I was moving slow.
You're behind time.
Way behind. And at that time, at mile 81, something clicked that I'll never probably be able to do again, when my mind, body, spirit, soul, everything just connected. And my mind knew I wasn't fucking around anymore. And the second she said that I'm not gonna make the time, I ran the last 19 miles, nonstop, at about a 10:30 pace. And I did 101 miles in 18 hours and 56 minutes. And that's when the body realized I was done. And this great feeling came over me, but also the worst pain in my life. I can't even describe the pain of that last 30 miles to anybody. No one, it's very hard.
Whole body?
Whole body. At the time, my mom was seeing this doctor, and he was like, you gotta get in the hospital now. And I just said, just shut up and let me enjoy this pain. It was the most amazing feeling of accomplishment, and I went to be numb. I was at 100%, what I thought was 100%. I went 31 more miles after being in the worst physical shape I've ever been in my life. It was the best feeling I ever had in my life, not because of the pain I was in, but the pain was confirmation of, my God, did I just do that? I was now the truth.
God.
I became truth. There was no more lie.
More than stories, this is Spirit of Legend. Follow to keep building.